Hello nerds! Thank you once again for watching Generally Nerdy. This is your Week in Nerdom Music Edition for the week of December 18th. We are 1 week away from Christmas, folks. In this video we have Misfits news, Offspring news, Prince, so much more. Let's hit that intro sequence and then we will start talking about all of this music.
Quiet on the set, rolling.
Hi, I am Bitsy Telek.
Hey, I'm Hale Appleman.
I'm Walter Kane.
I'm Rene Aubergenois. Odo on Deep Space Nine.
Michael Dorn, Lieutenant Commander Worf, Star Trek The Next Generation.
Come and see me and hear me and talk to me and listen to me talk about myself.
Hey man, this is Kevin Smith, often considered generally nerdy, and you are listening to what is often considered generally nerdy.
On Generally Nerdy.
You're listening to
Generally Nerdy.
Generally Nerdy.
Generally Nerdy.
Music news. We are talking about all things musical in this week's music news. Offspring have announced, well, they didn't just announce that, but they're not done yet with their new record. They're taking some time off for the holidays, and they will get back once we are into the new year, back to working on their new record. It's the follow-up to 2012's Days Gone By. I didn't know the Offspring was still making music. Yeah, so I don't know. So this is kind of a thing that I want to talk about in the comments. Is Offspring punk rock? They were Ixnay the Hombre, round about that era of the Offspring. That was totally punk rock. It was 90s punk. It was a little alt rock thrown in with it, but by and large, it was punk rock. I don't know that much that they've done since then has been really all that punk rock. But I'm just old and cynical. Maybe you guys can change my mind. So, in the words of Steven Crowder, change my mind. Anyway, I'm interested to hear it. Noodles makes it sound like they're kind of gonna gear a little more punk rock than they have, but still, they've been so far off of where they were that's not really saying much. Anyway, moving along, we're getting into the Red Hot Chili Peppers. They, too, are going to be working on a new record in 2018. I really dig the Chili Peppers. Kiedis and the whole gang are, I mean, they're kind of commie, but lefty commie types. Chad, what's his name? The drummer, Chad Wilson? I can't remember his last name. He's Will Ferrell. There you go. Will Ferrell's crazy twin. Really dig the Chili Peppers. I don't know where I was going with that Chad stuff, but really dig the Chili Peppers. Super excited to hear new work from them in 2018. It will be the follow-up to The Getaway, was what they put out in 2016. So it'll be 2 years. I don't know. I feel like that's a regular amount of time between records. It's a little more productive than they have been in the past, so that's cool. And then, switching gears a little bit to some actual punk rock, the Misfits are doing a couple of reunion shows. Not tours, just shows. I think it's like 2 or 3, might have been 4 shows at the 2 locations, in LA and then in Las Vegas. It's all Jerry Only, Glenn Danzig, and Doyle Frankenstein. So Jerry Only's little brother, Doyle. They're doing some reunions for just the 3 of them. It's, I'm super stoked to see videos that come out of these shows, but it doesn't seem that we're going to get any fan videos made from these shows because, following suit from A Perfect Circle, they're not allowing anyone to bring their cell phones into the show without being locked up in these little pouches. I've seen this happen at comedy clubs. When I went and interviewed Kevin Smith, the only reason I got to bring in all my gear unlocked is because I was there specifically for the interview. But everyone who had a cell phone there it was in this little pouch that the venue has a key for. And if you have to take a call or whatever, then you have to put your phone on vibrate, and it stays in this pouch, and if it starts vibrating, you have to take that call. You have to leave the space where the entertainment is happening. So for Kevin Smith, it was Kevin Smith. But for these concerts, Perfect Circle, Misfits, whatever, you have to leave the area where they're performing and go to, like, the lobby, effectively, and they'll unlock your pouch, let you take your phone call, make your phone call or whatever. Before they let you back in, they have to relock it in the pouch. I'm kind of two minds about this. By and large, I think this is a great thing. It's so annoying to go to a show and have 70 different people there just looking through their phone. Like, oh wow, this is gonna be so awesome to watch later. You're here now. Watch it now. Why would you not want to watch it now? You're here experiencing this thing that's so awesome right now. You're not gonna make any money by putting this up. You're just going to effectively take away money from this artist that you apparently love so much by posting a live video up on YouTube or wherever. So that way, I don't know, it's a little bit of a stretch to say you're taking money from them by doing this, but you kind of are, because people don't have to go to the show, they can watch your stupid little video. And this is coming from somebody who's trying to make a living by taking pictures and videos at concerts and things of that nature. I'm going to be doing it and getting paid because it's going to be going to the band for promotional purposes. You're doing it just because you don't want to live in the moment. You want to remember things as they never were. And that's part of, it's a larger issue that we have with society. Anyway, Misfits are following suit, and we're moving into our next bit of news. Prince. So, again, we're going to reference Kevin Smith because I like Kevin Smith. I'll watch a lot of his stuff. Kevin Smith at one point, and if you've watched any of his Evening with Kevin Smith DVDs, you probably know this story. He did a documentary for Prince back in the day. And at some point, one of Prince's handlers said to Kevin, it's a shame that nobody's going to get to see this. And Kevin Smith was like, wait, what? Come again? Apparently, Prince was, and we all kind of know this about Prince, if you are a fan of Prince, he's a little crazy. He apparently has just vaults full of music videos, movies, documentaries, all kinds of stuff locked away, and now that he's dead, maybe we'll start to see some of it. I don't know who the person in charge of his, I can't think of words, his estate, there we go. The person in charge of his estate, don't know what they're going to be doing with all of that material, but I would imagine eventually we'll get some of it. This is kind of related to all that. There was an album that Prince did in the night. It was like 93. It was right as he was becoming super freaking popular. No. It was because he was popular in the 80s too. It was in 93 that he did this record, but it was right after, I forget which record it was. But it was called the Black Album. He had just put out a very successful record, and then he recorded this record, the Black Album, and was going to put it out. But before he put it out, he wanted to record one more album to be a little more true to his fans from his early days, a little more funky, something along those lines. So the Black Album kind of got shelved for a little while. Was still going to come out, just got shelved. And then by the time it got to the point where he was going to release it again, he didn't want to release it because he thought it was evil. There was some sort of evil influence in it, or something Princey like that. So it didn't ever officially get released. However, there were a few dozen copies that got pressed and sent out to executives and to radio types and different types of people in the industry. So copies exist of this record outside of his extensive vault. It would seem now one of those record executives from Warner, former record executive from Warner, has put up his copy of Prince's Black Album on recordmecca.com, I believe is the website, for $15,000. What? It better be amazing. It's just like those Wu-Tang records that are supposed to be worth millions. And anyway, that's awesome. I want somebody to get their hands on it and leak it or something so that the rest of the world can hear this fantastic music. Because if it was put to that level, then maybe it would never get released. I don't know. It's the property rights and intellectual property rights are a very interesting thing, especially post-mortem. So we'll take a look and see who buys it, and then we can know who to blame when it finds its way up on torrent websites. And then our final bit of music news for this week's Week in Nerddom. Gene Simmons. In We All Saw This Coming news, Gene Simmons is being accused of sexual assault. But it's not something from back in the day. Like, a lot of these accusations that have come about recently are from, well, he touched me in 1986. No, this is from not that long ago. A woman who's being identified as Jane Doe has filed a lawsuit against Simmons in LA Superior Court this past Friday, December 15th, alleging that the Kiss bassist and vocalist grabbed her hand multiple times and forcibly placed it on his knee, and then held it on his knee. She is identified in documents as a longtime on-air personality for a local rock station, so possibly K-Rock. Also says the 68-year-old rocker, so it was done this year, forcibly flicked and struck her throat when she spoke to Simmons and his bandmate Paul Stanley at their Rock and Brews restaurant at San Miguel Casino in Highland, California. In addition, she claims Simmons reached towards her buttocks and touched it. I don't know why the distinction needs to be made. If he touched it, obviously he reached out to do it. While they were posing for a promotional photo together after the interview. So, Gene Simmons has been kicked off of Fox News recently for being an asshole off camera. And now he's being sued for being an asshole off air for a radio station. How is this the first time he's being accused or put to test about something like this? I don't understand it. Because he's the one... Anyway, machismo being what it is and Gene Simmons being a worthless human being, we're just gonna move right past that and finish this week's episode. Thank you for watching Week in Nerddom Music Edition for this week. If you like what I'm trying to do here, hit that subscribe button. If you're new to the channel, hit the like button. I got that backwards. If you like what I'm trying to do here, hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you haven't yet, check out the website, generallynerdy.net. Check out the Patreon to help support what I'm doing here. Patreon.com/generallynerdy. Thank you for watching. Let me remind you as well that always, always remember, if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.